Welcome back to the Bold Business Podcast with Rachel Starr. Hello, I am your host, founder of Cosmic Queen, deliverer of the Cosmic Cutting Edge. We've got an amazing topic today. So there is a particular time of year that represents a reset for you. It's a fresh start. It's a new beginning. It's this time of year is actually really potent, really powerful, and it might be a time that you're unaware of, overlooking, or completely ignoring. And we need to talk about that because you need to honor this time. It comes right after a really challenging time of year for everyone. Directly after that, suddenly you get clarity. Suddenly you're ready to move forward. Suddenly all these possibilities open up for you. And I want to help you identify exactly when that is today. This is the season of your identity reset. Let's get into it. So if you are new around here to follow along with today's topic, you really only need to know one thing. What is your rising sign? As long as you know what that is, you can pause this video, go figure it out, go to astro.com, get your free chart, whatever. As long as you know your rising sign, you can follow along with what I'm talking about today. I have a method and an approach called Cosmic Seasons, and I'm really passionate about helping people take astrology and make it useful. Right? It's not just an intellectual exercise to learn about your birth chart. It's not just, oh, that's interesting about me, forget it and move on. It's a blueprint. It's a map. It's a compass. It's a decoding tool to figure out how you can get the best out of your time and energy, and how you can also get the best out of life in general. And so I'm going to be breaking the seal, opening up a piece of my Cosmic Seasons approach to you today in this podcast episode. This is going to be really useful and will hopefully help you to also see your chart in a totally different light. I recently did the Hidden Rhythms Masterclass. The replay on that is now closed, but it will be opening up. I'll be doing a fresh one later this year, so make sure you're on my email list so that you get all the details about that. At the end of today's episode, I'll also be talking about my new Cosmic Seasons course coming up, so stay tuned for that as well. But here's some info that you can start putting into practice right away. Okay, before I reveal what that season is, how you figure it out, I want to talk about what problems this is going to solve, because why do we care, right? Why do we care about this identity reset? Why do we care about this particular time of year? Here's why. We, without astrology, without human design, without using these things as a proper calendar, we're all running our lives based off of a calendar declared by an 80-year-old man in 1582. And Pope Gregory the 13th, probably didn't know that the entire world at some point would be using this calendar. And I'm not sure he really knew about much more ancient calendars and how we can actually use time to support ourselves and our connection to the cosmos. And so when you use the Gregorian calendar, which is what we're all used to, right? January, February, March, like the certain dates, all this thing, it's very generic. It's very what does April even mean? Like in the Northern Hemisphere, okay, it's like springtime, depending on the country or the city you live in. I'm in London, UK, like you might know something about the weather, but in general, April is just April, and it's just like generic. It doesn't mean anything, right? And so when you're trying to plan out your time, when you're looking forward to your year, when you're thinking about the creative projects that you've got coming up, when you're thinking about, the vacations or the life events, that you have, that you're planning for, we're just kind of winging it. We're just kind of like guessing when we might have energy to do that thing. And I want to take the guesswork out of it, right? I used to be a project manager and account manager, managing multinational teams in my tech, consulting career before I left to go full-time in my business. And so, I know about managing time. I know about roles. I know about responsibilities. I know about budgets. A lot of you know the same, right? And you have to do it for yourself in your own personal life too. But if you want to be truly the most incredible project manager for your own life, you got to use astrology. The Gregorian calendar is not it. It's not that girl, okay? But astrology is that girl. It is the most incredible tool for figuring out what time of year to do what. One of the things that I really love to talk about, and I did a previous podcast episode, I don't remember what episode it was on, where I talked about like the 12th house season, right? It's so important to use astrology to identify the roller coaster of the ups and downs of your energy. We all have highs, we all have lows, we all have time periods of the year where we're really excited to do a bunch of things. We're super productive, we're super on, we're going for it. And we also have other times of year where we're just not on. We need to be in bed watching our favorite, wuxia C drama, like we need to be just like chilling with our Ben and Jerry's and just like doing our inner child healing that we need to do, right? And then there's other times where it's like kapow, like it's time for us to be on stage. That's all revealed in your birth chart, and it's different for every single person based on the time, location, date of your birth. So knowing how to use your astrology as a calendar is incredibly valuable. It is an incredible project management tool, but also it's helpful for personal development. Every single year of life, we're growing, right? We're growing, we're stretching ourselves, we're figuring out what works, we're figuring out what doesn't work, we're figuring out who we are. And it's cyclical, but there is a beginning and an end. Today, we're talking about the beginning. What is that particular time of year that is an incredible identity reset for you? I'm going to reveal what it is right now. It is your rising sign season. So put in the chat if you're here live with me, or if you're watching this podcast on YouTube, Substack, etc., drop something to tell me like what is your rising sign, right? If you know your rising sign, you know when your identity reset starts every year. You know when you're coming out of the fog of your 12th house season, your deep rest season, as I call it. You know when you're coming into this new version of you. Your rising sign represents that. Your rising sign represents the start of the first house, and it's all about your identity. So every single year at this exact time of year, when the sun hits that rising sign, when it like shines the light, turns it on, that is when your identity reset begins. And if you don't know about that, you might end up feeling a bit lost. You might end up feeling like, who am I now? What's going on? I just went through something. I've had a year of existence, a year of themes, a year of ups and downs. Who am I now? What version of myself am I ready to really be? This time of year is incredibly powerful for personal development work, but also for an energetic reset. I'm going to give you 4 things that you want to be doing when the sun hits your rising sign. 4 things you want to be doing in your identity reset season. In my Cosmic Seasons method, which I'm teaching in my upcoming course, I call this your self-love season, because that's the goal. That's how we use this to our advantage, is we double down on the self-love during this season, because we're in the process of remaking ourselves, remaking our identity, resetting our identity. So let's go through. I'm going to give you guys, because I'm a steps person. Of course, I'm a 2-5 manifesting generator. I'm a Gemini moon. I'm a Libra sun. I love to get into like, okay, how is this practical? What are the steps? So here we go. Number 1 thing you want to do in your identity reset season, when you're truly beginning the next 12 seasons of your year, when it hits your rising sign season, that the first thing you want to do is to identify your core desires. And the best way to do that is to actually just really start to learn and understand your rising sign. So I'm going to give a couple of examples here to make this more real for everyone. Drop your rising sign. Okay, so if your rising sign is Taurus, we just went through Taurus season at the time that I'm recording this, so let's use Taurus as an example. If you're a Taurus rising, one of your core desires is for stability and security, right? You like to be comfortable. Yes, you like nice things. It's important to you to feel safe, comfortable, taken care of. So if that's one of your core desires, then it's also a core part of your identity. And it's something that every year you're reevaluating. You're kind of looking at, this is all happening subconsciously, but what we're doing here is we're making it conscious. It's already happening behind the scenes. We just want to bring it on stage so that we can deal with it, so that we can harness the potency of this season, so that we can be intentional about what we're doing, right? So if you're Taurus rising, then it's about stability and security. So you're going to be reassessing. Step one is to identify that core desire and reassess, how are you doing? How are we doing with stability and security? Are we comfortable? Do we have nice things that we love? So all of that kind of thing. So let me know, or think to yourself, like, how am I doing on that? Give yourself a score, like 1 to 5. How are you doing on satisfying your core desire? I have a video on my Instagram. I got a beautiful comment the other day from someone who said, it was about Scorpio rising. And I was talking about one of the core desires of Scorpio rising is intimacy and emotional honesty. And they were saying, that makes sense because this is something I don't have in my life right now. And I'm so dissatisfied. And they were very honest about that. And I love them for sharing that because it can be hard to face these things. But your rising sign will read you for filth. Like your rising sign is the truth teller. Like your rising sign is this part of you that cannot be ignored. And it really does represent your core desires. So if you look at your Scorpio rising and you notice intimacy, emotional honesty, connection that is deep with other people, that is my core desire or one of my core desires. How am I doing on that on a scale of 1 to 5? How am I doing on that? And what do I need in order to transform that and in order to embody that more? How can I apply self-love to my identity to bring out and to satisfy that core desire much more? So that's step 1, identify your core desire. Step 2 is declare what you're actually ready to leave in the past. When you enter your self-love season, your identity reset season, it means that it's the beginning of a 12-month cycle. You've just finished a 12-month cycle and you might be a bit energetically exhausted from that, but you're getting a lot of clarity as well. You're coming out of the deep rest season, realizing the things that are not serving you, realizing the things that you are ready to leave in the past, right? And so you want to declare what you're ready to leave in the past. What are the old stories, right? What are the old stories of things, that you're just done with, right? Maybe there's some guilt, maybe there's some shame, maybe there's some insecurity of some kind that has been plaguing you and bothering you and running on a rumination loop inside your mind. That's not healthy. That's not helpful. And it's also very normal, right? But you want to start to identify that and be like, okay, what is the story that I'm telling myself that is not helpful? What is the story that I'm telling myself that is just, let me give you an example. If you recently ended a romantic relationship or a deep friendship, in the last 3 years, I've done both of those things. My best friend and my ex-partner I needed to close those relationships. But there can be a lot of guilt and there can be a lot of self-distrust that you have then because you're like, oh, well, clearly I'm really bad at picking people or I'm trusting the wrong people. I messed up, right? And yes, it's important to take responsibility for our decisions, but it can become a rumination loop that is very unhealthy for us to keep telling ourselves, well, I'm just bad at picking people. The people closest to me hurt me the most. I'm just, my picker is off. I trust the wrong people. It's all my fault, right? And if you keep telling yourself that story especially water rising signs. I'm a water rising sign, right? We hold on to things. Yes. We hold on to these stories that don't serve us. So the second step of this identity reset is we gotta leave those stories in the past. We gotta identify the thing that is weighing on our heart the most, that is weighing on our shoulders the most, that's creating that, if you got neck pain, back pain, lower back pain, whoo, like emotional burden, right? It's creating an emotional burden on you. Can you let go, forgive yourself, leave that piece in the past? It's such an important part of this reset that you are experiencing and going forward with. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in us. Okay. Part three, step three, I should say. Step three of really taking advantage of this identity reset season is to name the identity that you're stepping into now. Like, what's she called? Like, what is this identity, right? And like, you can give it like a human name, you can give it like a conceptual name. Like, what is this new identity? Let's identify it. Let's actually name it. Let's talk about it. I'm going to give you some examples here. Maybe you're stepping into a new cycle, a new year of actually being the revolutionary. Maybe you're someone who is such a change maker and you're really ready to embrace that. You're not someone who stands still. You're not someone who stays stuck in the past. You're not someone who follows the rules. No, absolutely not. You have this beautiful, like Lilith coded inner rebel in you that's ready to come out and is ready to speak up, right? So if that's you, maybe you come up with a name, right? Like maybe you're the Katniss Everdeen of this year, right? Maybe it's a fictional character. Maybe it's a concept like just being a revolutionary, but give your identity a name. And this is so perfect to do in this season, because then once you name something, like you guys understand how the old magic works, right? Naming things, putting it into words is the most powerful thing that you can do to start off the change, to start off the transformation, to start off the spell. Like you got to do it. Name it, put it into words. Here's another example. Maybe you're the determined dreamer, right? Yes, naming the season. Like an alter ego. Yeah, it can be like, you can think of it like an alter ego, but it's not alter, it's you, right? It's you, and you're just getting more comfortable with it right now. In the identity reset, this is your time. It's that time of year when you're like really working on yourself and you're really embracing it. So the determined dreamer, I love this one. I know a lot of people who are determined dreamers. Embrace that identity. If that's you, this could be like the name of your alter ego, the name of your identity that you're stepping into. You're someone who has hope, who believes in a better world, who believes in a better situation. You're someone who knows that you're meant for this. Someone who believes in their own creativity, their ability to create change, their ability to create things, right? You're the determined dreamer. Third example, maybe you're stepping into the identity of the truth teller. You're the person who doesn't stay silent when things are important that need to be said. You're the person who looks for the truth, who's not just accepting what everyone says, right? You're the person who is here to speak truth to power. So embrace that if that is your next identity that you are anchoring in and harnessing in your identity reset season. So that's just a few examples, right? You can use fictional characters, you can use concepts like what I talked about, but name it. What is this identity that you are stepping into right now? And by the way, I'm talking about a particular time of year right now when your rising sign is activated by the sun, but you can do this anytime. It's just going to be super, super potent in your identity reset season. Okay. So the fourth and final step of harnessing this identity reset season and actually doing this reset is going to be action. Up until this point, we've, identified your core desires, declared what you're ready to leave in the past, named the identity that you're stepping into. Those are all internally focused things. Next, we gotta, we can't just pray, right? As they say in the West African proverb, we can't just pray, we gotta move our feet. So this is the action part. This is the manifestation part. This is where it really gets locked into the system, right? We're running a new program now. And this is where you're gonna put something on your calendar. You're going to decide what it is that you're putting on your calendar, but you're going to put something on your calendar. And that something is going to be a new ritual or a new routine where this identity is going to have a lot of fun. They're going to love this, and it's going to help them to like tap in. It's going to help you to tap into this new identity on the daily or on the weekly. Okay, so what is it, right? If you're the determined dreamer, it's probably going to be some kind of visualization that you're going to do daily, right? Like you're going to go on Spotify, you're going to create a playlist if you're like, if music activates you, or you're going to buy the candles and sage if that activates you, like whatever it is, a ritual or routine that's at minimum on a weekly basis, maximum on a daily basis, that you're going to do to lock in this new identity. And, for example, if you're an adventure seeker and like taking action and being more adventurous is something that you're focused on, then put that fiery kind of energetic thing into your calendar. Like, what is it you're going to do? You're going to, run 5K a day, whatever it is, like put it in your calendar. Once you put something in your calendar, it becomes real. It's out of your head. It's on the page. It's right there. You put your alarms, you put your reminders in. I love an alarm. I love a reminder. I have like literally a million. It's not just because I'm a mom. I have so many, and I did when I was single too. So there you go. Okay. Make sure that you actually put the action in the calendar. That's how we're starting to make this real. That's how we're starting to admit to ourselves that this is more than just a concept. It's more than just a promise that we're going to break later. This is our new reality. This is the new way, right? This is it. So, clear? Identity reset season. When it's your identity reset season, doing something like this, following these steps is so potent, because this is the time of year where you are starting fresh. This is the time of year where you are resetting how you see yourself, and therefore the self that you are putting out into the world as well. It's internal stuff, internal work that is going to have very big external results, because how we see ourselves is how we move in the world. Like how we see ourselves is going to have a huge impact on the actions and the decisions that we make and take, right? So I'm really excited for you guys to go out and do this, for you to circle on your calendar that season that every year is your fresh start, right? Circle it, honor it, work with it. I love it. Okay. So send me messages. Like I'm very available, send me messages on Instagram if this resonated with you, or on whatever platform. I will always see it. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. If you want to learn more beyond this, because we just scratched the surface here on one of the 12 seasons of the year. This is the first one. There are 11 more that we got to talk about. If you want to learn about your cosmic seasons, I have a course called Cosmic Seasons where I'm going to teach you my method and approach. You only need to learn this once, because once you've got it for all the future years of your life. You will know what time of year, the exact dates as well, because I have a tool that helps you to figure out exact dates too, because it depends on, the length of your seasons depends on your where you live, where you were born in the world, right? Were you born really far north? Well, you might have some very long seasons, some very short seasons, versus being born on the equator. They're all going to be the same. So it's really cool. It's really valuable. And I invite you to the course because you're going to learn how to do this for yourself. You're going to learn how to plot your seasons. You're going to learn what each season means. You're going to learn about your 3 rest seasons, which are really important to know about because we cannot be burning out. We have so much to do, so much to accomplish out there. We don't have time to burn out. So I'm going to teach you about the 3 rest seasons. I'm going to teach you about your active seasons, and I'm going to teach you about your neutral seasons. What else are we going to go? There's so much we're going to go over in this course. I'm going to teach you about how to plan ahead. There's also 2 bonuses included. You're going to get my 2026 calendar. So the calendar is going to show you all of the major astrology and human design dates for the year. And you're going to get my transits masterclass. Yes, it's a video masterclass where you're going to learn how to read transits. So it's not only about, the 12 seasons, but of course, every single year there are nuances here. There are new things coming in because the planets are transiting differently and they're making different music with your chart. So I'm going to teach you how to read the transits as well. And so you get that masterclass, which you can watch anytime. And we're going to do special Q&A on transits as well. So you can see how the transits are going to, the transits of the planets are going to activate your chart. So join the Cosmic Seasons course. It starts on May 28th. So it starts this Thursday. I'm so excited for it. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be 4 live calls with me, including lots of Q&A. We're also going to have a private signal group where we talk about all this stuff. And I get to look at your charts and I can answer your questions. Plus, you're going to get the tool to help you calculate your dates. Yeah, it's going to be a great old time. So come and become the most incredible project manager that you've ever had running your life, and join Cosmic Seasons. Also, if you want to do this one-to-one with me, we can do that as well. You want to work with me one-to-one on prepping your year, planning out your launches for your business, preparing your big career move, figuring out all of these things. I use human design, astrology, numerology, and oodles and oodles and oodles of mindset, insight, and support as well. So we can get into all that too. Message me if you're interested in that. Join the Cosmic Seasons. Everything's going to be in the show notes. I hope you guys have a beautiful, brilliant rest of your Gemini season. And I will see you later. Love you. Mwah. Bye.